Hi, I'm Tanya, Miss TLC. I'm not a doctor, but I understand depression. I understand anxieties, and I understand the mental health. I understand my mind, and I understand how it works. I understand all these things because I've studied them. I didn't go to school and study them. I didn't get a degree in therapy or anything like that. What I did do is I studied my own depression. I understand where it came from, and I fixed it. I no longer suffer from depression because I no longer have the issues that made me suffer from depression. I've dealt with those issues and I've put them behind me. I used to be a bully, and I was also bullied, and I understand those things as well. So I've put together a number of stories on a number of things, and I'm really hoping that you enjoy all the stories that I've written. Some I've put as an adult story because there's a little bit more detail in there. I had to make it somewhat interesting because life as an adult is pretty interesting all in its own right. So you'll hear some of my issues, some of my shame, some of my sadness, some of my depression. But you'll also see the steps that I took to get past those things. During my life, being a bully made me understand how it works, why it works. And I'm here to tell you that my story on being a bully will help any child. It will help any adult because it's helped me. In fact, as an adult, I let people bully me. And that's the one thing. We only let people bully us. If we don't let somebody bully us, they're not about to bully us. So I've even designed some steps to help people with their bully, and I've also designed the exact same steps for a bully who doesn't want to bully anymore, and he doesn't want to feel bad anymore, because being a bully, it makes us feel bad and shame for that. And then we become feeling guilty, and then we carry guilt. And shame and guilt, those things grow into depression. So unless we deal with our shame and our guilt now as a young adult, we will suffer with depression later. And I've also written about desperate thinking and how one desperate thought can lead to a multitude of desperate actions, desperate reactions, and that in return gives us desperate responses, and sometimes just more negative stuff happening in our life. So we become desperate again and have to change that. And then because we're desperate and we're in that desperate state of mind, everything about our life becomes a desperate situation. I've designed steps to teach you how to deal with those desperation. Whether it's you're desperate for love, you're desperate for a new job, you're desperate for anything. I can teach you simply how to make it so you will never ever be desperate for another thing in your life. I can teach you simply how to forgive yourself for your shame and your guilt that you carry inside that has become depression. I can teach you how to get past all those people that hurt you and you feel negative feelings, you feel like killing them. Instead, you will forgive them, you will forgive yourself, and you will move on. Now, I've designed these steps because I learned about steps when I was going through detox, and I learned about a gentleman named Bill W. who took some steps to get away from drinking alcohol. And I thought, geez, these are great. These are fantastic steps if I'm an alcoholic. And then when I went to a drug rehabilitation program, I learned about a different set of steps, but very similar steps on how to get away from drugs. This was all fantastic. But what if I'm not a drug addict? And what if I'm not an alcoholic? What if I don't eat too much? And what if I don't eat enough? What if I'm not any of those things? But what if I'm just a person that has so many issues that I don't know how to deal with them? If you're that person, then that person is me. And with this book, I will teach you how to get past all those issues with very simple steps. And it starts with loving yourself. That was the first thing I learned I needed to do. I needed to love myself enough to want to stay alive one more day. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But it tells you in here how I did it. So that book teaches us how to deal with all our issues and our demons and all the things that hurt us. But after I wrote that book, I still wasn't feeling quite the way I needed to. In fact, I still didn't like myself. I didn't like who I was. So how was I going to change those things? Well, this is how. This is called A Better Side of Me. And this is my second book. I don't know if you can see it because of the glare. But it's my best work. And it's my best work inside. Because with the steps in this book, I was able to redesign myself. The way you redesign a program, the way you redesign a game, the way you redesign a thought. I was able to change the person that I didn't like into a person that I love very much. And it'll teach you how to do those things as well. And it teaches you through your thinking and the way you think and the way you feel about things. So these two books together are very, very powerful. Not just for me, but they will be for you. I'm introducing this book to the schools because I don't think they have any idea how to deal with a bully. I do. I was a bully. I don't think they have any idea how to deal with the child that's being bullied. I do again, because I was that child. I was also that adult that allowed myself to be bullied. I have steps in this book that will teach your child not just how to say no to bullying. Say no to bullying. Okay. Just means I won't bully. But what about the people that are coming at me? How do I say no to them? Well, it's in this book. And this book will teach you exactly how. Say no to bullying doesn't mean I won't bully. It also means I will never let it happen to me. And this book will make you strong. This book will make you powerful. Not to the point where you want to get even, but to the point where you want to love you enough to fight the biggest bully of all. And that's the bully that sits inside your soul. That's the bully that tells you that you're no good. That's the bully that tells you this person's treating you this way because you deserve it. That's the bully that sits inside you and says you'll never amount to anything. Could be a teacher, could be anybody. But because you believe him, you're the biggest bully. You're the biggest bully, and you have to get past you. This book will teach you exactly how to do it. I've written these steps because I wasn't an alcoholic because I like to drink and I like to get drunk and act stupid and fall down and sleep with people that I teach about. I wasn't a drug addict because I like to smoke dope or I like to take mushrooms or acid or any of those other kinds of narcotics. I became that person because I carried way too many issues. If you're not carrying the issues that create the pain to make you want to drink, to make you want to smoke drugs or take drugs, then you're not an alcoholic anymore, or you're not a drug addict anymore. But you do have issues. And your issue may not be the alcohol or the drug. It just may be that you really don't give a shit about yourself. We take these things to numb our pain. We inflict pain on us because we think we deserve it. We inflict pain because we think that we just are worthless. But you know what? We're not. And the only one that is ever going to tell you that you are not worthless and you really believe it is yourself. Anybody can tell us they love us, but love is just words. Love is an action, and to feel the action, you actually have to love. We all walk around looking for our soulmates. Little did you know, your soulmate is already with you. Your soulmate is you. If you can walk around in your own skin and look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I think you're fantastic. And you're doing good things for not just you, but for everyone else out there. Then you know what? You found your soulmate. And by finding that soulmate, it will allow you your happiness, your joy, and it'll give you so much that you want to share it with somebody else, and not just be desperate to take somebody else's happiness or joy and make it our own. Now, these 2 books are published. They're on Amazon, and they're available to you. I have a few left of these ones. If you want to contact me, we can work together, and I can sell you one of these ones. $10. These ones I believe are $13 and change on Amazon for the soft cover, and I believe it's $23 for the hard cover. If they're not about to save your life, they will save somebody's life in your life. And if you can't afford to buy it for yourself, you really can't afford not to buy it for yourself. If you're feeling unloved, if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling like life keeps throwing you curveballs and you don't know how to catch them or dodge them, books will help you. They will give you the strength, they will give you the courage to keep stepping forward. I love you all very much, and I promise never to stop writing, because every single one of these issues in these books really do have their own stories to tell. Have a very funny day, everyone, and God bless you.